Me. The claim that I'm lazy be killing me, maybe just let me return my energy. 400 years and counting. The trail of my tears is countless. The effect of them years is astounding, but I can't wait till the shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king in the act to be ready to rap. Cracking the sky, nuclear missiles will make it official. I'm capturing every predator alive. Put them all in chains where they need to be, slavery for me. And let the whole world see that we're them in the cages, safe on the streets. Put the dog on a leash, give us all for the beach. 144, get the brutal show, we can all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom be busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now. See just how it feels, baby, is I know. Look, ain't no remorse in my blood. Won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I'm back gon' be 10-5. I get it customized. And sending shots on like farewell. Pray come back on hell like a carousel. Still remember your hardest words ringing in my head like bells. Set you in this body, you finna low and fuck the cocktail. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game. I got these barbells. Payback to bitch in his dress. She a bomb change and still serve cold. I just hope they make it oxtail. Block fresh out the box, I swear got that new car smell. Make myself a in the world of man. There was designed path where I famous the best school in the air. My king's reign be overzealous. My jealous, I for brand new purpose. How it feels, payback is I know. Payback is I know.
Come on, Paul. You got me a red cup. Yes. Just a cup. Yeah. Clap it up. About to get you right into it. The highest, the Israel, the universal knowledge, the 1 West 125th Street, Harlem. It's the Wednesday night, bro. The law class, man. This the class over the law that the church to teach Hispanics and American Indians was done away with. You know, and so Salah for the time and us being understand, but we gonna get into it. Book of Matthew, chapter 17. Also, while if you're watching if you're in the classroom physics, go ahead and go on the YouTube, share to the class and for the class. Whoever get Matthew.
The book of Matthew 5 and verse 7. Think not that I come to destroy.
This is Christ. I know that we reiterate all the time. Like we pull the scripture out down Wednesday. This is important that the scripture because Christians have taught for 400 years that the law is done away with, and that Christ died and nailed the law, nailed the law to the cross or nailed sin to the cross or whatever they teach in the Christian church. But that's not the truth. You understand? This coming out of Christ's mouth himself, that he said to think not that I have come to destroy the law. You understand? Because think about what destroying the law would do to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Teaching brothers to not have morality, teaching brothers to not have brotherhood. Like you can't think to yourself that without the law of brotherhood, you understand, without the law of a stranger or without the law of jealousy, that we would, be able to even conduct ourselves in a righteous manner with each other. Without these laws, we're going to crips and going to happen without laws. Without these laws, we're going to pimp out our women because we don't have these laws. But that is what the Christian church teaches us. And so as a you understand, so like 1 second. You understand? And because that's what the Christian church teaches us, we see the condition that it has led Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians in, man. You understand? We are people that need a law, and Christ knew that. You understand? So this is why he said this. Read it one more time.
The book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 7. Think not that I am come to destroy the law.
He said, think not that I am come to destroy the law. Christ didn't come to do away with the law. That's nonsense. That doesn't make any sense. You understand? Like the Lord created the law for a reason. He wanted his people, his children, to follow this law for a reason. What ideology or religion do you have, or that even makes sense for God to destroy his law? It don't make sense. And here's the thing that what you nasty Christians don't understand. Like, to say that God changed his mind or the law is done away with, that means that you would have to find imperfection in the law. You're saying about the Lord every time you say that the law is done away with. Like the Lord wasn't correct in saying that thou shalt not murder, that thou shalt not steal, that thou shalt not covet thy neighbor. You understand? And so that's what we're saying. Like, imagine America's law. America, like what can't you do in America? What's breaking the law in America? What's some of the laws we got? QP?
Like smoking weed, like marijuana and stuff like that.
Well, okay, yeah, in some, right? That's a good point. That's a heavy law. We'll come back to that. We said smoking weed. What's some other ones? What's some other things that if you do is breaking America's law? Come on. Murder. Right? What else? Stealing. Right? Smoking weed, murdering, stealing. These are all things that if you do it, you understand, you would have to punish, you would have to face the judgments for it. But the Lord worked the same way. But now, if the law was to change, what has to happen changes in America? What has to happen before the law of smoking weed changes? Before it was a law, it was unlawful. You could not smoke weed, you could not possess marijuana, you could not sell it, you couldn't do nothing with it. But what then had to happen in America's idea with that law? What had to happen?
Somebody had to break it.
Not what happened before change? Young man.
They felt they had economics.
On it, right? You own it by saying that. Hold on 1 second. What had to change? He owned it by saying they felt that economics, that could be a reason for what they thought with this law that they had. Anybody want to take one more shot?
What I say, because like everybody is smoking weed now, they smoke a trend, smoke a thing.
Everybody been smoking weed though.
That's what I'm saying.
Right? For time's sake, they had to find a fault in the law. They had to come together and say, you know what? We can't keep this law right here. We have to change this. We have to change this. Why? Because we can make money off of it. We can get economics built off of it. Or there's nothing wrong with marijuana smoke. Or we're locking too many of our citizens up for something that they want to do. Whatever reasoning they have, they find fault in the law. They find fault in the precedent that they have once set. Their Supreme Court justices have once set. Now, that is what makes America such a terrible place, because their foundation or their law is set on a precedent that is always due to change. Right? When we was here in America, they called us what, 3/5 of a man. Then they had to change it. You understand? Because their law, their precedent is always set to change, but God's law is not. So why do you think that Christian pastors come out here and they teach us that all of a sudden God changed his mind? Like, what is wrong with thou shalt not murder? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with the law of a stranger or a sojourner? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with what Lot did with the angels in Sodom and Gomorrah? Nothing. What the, like, what that don't make no damn sense. It's like you came and died. Like, you telling me that Christ came and died to teach people to not do something that God wanted them to do? Make it make sense. God is telling the people to be moral. You understand? To be brotherly to each other, to go to he and thee alone, to go to counsel, to not eat shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster, to not worship false idols. And then you telling me that God sent his son to die so that they can go worship false idols? That's what he did. He gonna send his own son to die so that we can go do what makes the Lord jealous. Don't make no damn sense. You understand? And that's why Christ is saying this. You understand? Read it one more time.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 17. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets.
Or the prophets, right? Or what the prophets in the Old Testament did, the work that they put in. You understand? Christ is giving respect and honor unto them. You understand? Because what they did was doing what they did, what the Lord wanted them to do. They taught what the Lord wanted them to teach. You understand? And Christ ain't come to change that. Keep going.
I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. What does that mean? Break that down.
I'm not come to destroy.
I'm gonna get young man.
I'll show you how to exercise the law, how to use it correctly.
Right? Give me a little bit more. Come on.
Basically, it's like Christ, like he showed us the law. It's like he had that swagger to it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it was, I can't say not hard to follow, but it's like, why would you follow a man like that?
I need a little bit more. Come on.
Basically, what it means is that he didn't destroy the law, but he came to like fulfill is another word for like complete. Complete the law, like fully, like the Old and the New Testament.
So completing it, what was missing? What was incomplete, young man? Understanding, yeah, right? Understanding, that's a blessing, right? Blessing is the understanding as to why we do what we do, right? So anybody else want to add on a little bit more? Understanding is a great answer. Come on.
So basically, it's like how we talk, brother class. Basically, it's like Christ showed us why you shouldn't have an art with your brother. When you start like worrying about someone other than yourself, and it's like you won't sleep with your brother's wife because that's your brother. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. Right. Now you understand the law. Okay. You understand, because you understand how breaking the law hurts your brother. And Christ came back, like his goal was to reunite the children of Israel, right? To bring the northern kingdom back to the southern kingdom and make us just Israel once again, right? And so to do that, he had to teach us how to love each other. Now, what teaches us how to love each other? The law that God gave us, the law that our forefathers followed. And that's what's happening today. We want the Puerto Ricans to love the niggas. We want the Dominicans to love the Haitians. We want the Mexicans to love the Jamaicans and the West Indians. But how do we get them to love each other? It ain't through America's law. That ain't gonna do it. It ain't going back to Africa with Marcus Garvey. That ain't gonna work. You understand? You're gonna have to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord for us to learn to love each other. Otherwise, who's gonna set the morality of the people? Who's gonna set the law? You understand? Who's gonna determine what is right and what is wrong? Some man. You understand? Like the Moors love to do that. They love this. I think the Moors got their own constitution or some nonsense like that. You understand? But the problem is this: if whoever wrote the Moors Constitution, let's say he get brought up on rape charges, let's say he end up becoming a drug addict or, just something, then what does that do to the law, to the Constitution that he wrote? It terminizes it. Because the man who wrote it was filthy. How can I trust it? How can I trust the law how can I trust the law of a man who's a child molester? I can't trust what you said. I can't do what you said to do. You're a rapist. I can't trust the law of a man that's a drug addict. You a drug addict. I'm gonna listen to you. You understand? I'm gonna trust you, and the law that you wrote couldn't stop you from molesting some little child. Couldn't stop you from picking up crack and smoking it. How can I listen to you? You a hypocrite. And that would just demonize the whole thing. You understand? Which is why the Moors Constitution is nothing. But this law is everything. Because there is no fault in the law. Ain't no fault with Christ. You understand? Keep reading.
Verse 18.
Mm-hmm.
For verily I say unto you,
Mm-hmm.
till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law.
Well, now what does that mean? Till heaven and earth pass out, and not in no wise one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law.
So I get them. That nothing should be changed.
Say one more time.
Nothing should be changed.
Break it down from the top. Remember, what is one jot and one tittle?
A jot is like a jot. Wouldn't that be like something like you use like write like jot something down, like you write something? You know how you say jot something down?
Wow.
Yeah,
a dot is the dot and dot.
Or dot.
Or a jot is the dot and the rock. Read it one more time so like it.
From the beginning?
Not from verse 18.
Yeah, from the top.
Come
on. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, and verse 18. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass.
So what does that mean, first of all? Till heaven and earth pass.
So I return.
Come on.
So I return.
Young man.
It'll be a new heaven and earth.
else till heaven and earth pass. What does that mean, QP?
To me, it's talking about like the time right now and the next life. Like the law, like it'll still be the same. Not the same, but it'll still be here.
Think more simpler. Y'all think it too heavy on it. Y'all think it too deep. Just think about what it says. What is the heavens? And what is the earth? The ground that we walking on. So what is it saying?
When this like world ends, when this earth ends.
Okay. This is what it's saying. Until you wake up out your bed one morning, and there ain't no goddamn ground on the earth. There ain't no ground. There's nothing there. There ain't none of this floor. Ain't no dirt. There is no earth beneath your feet. And you look up and there ain't no sky. There ain't no clouds. There ain't no ozone layer. There ain't no stars. It ain't no heaven. There ain't birds in there. Ain't nothing. Until you wake up and see nothing, it's more than likely you dead. Right? Keep reading.
One jot or one tittle.
One jot or one tittle. One dotting of the I or one crossing of the T. Not something very, very, not nothing is getting past this. Right? Keep going.
Shall in no wise pass from the law.
Shall in no wise pass from the law. What does in no wise mean? What does it mean? Shall in no wise pass from the law.
That's what I get on. Basically nothing. Basically, like nothing should be taken away from the law.
More about judgment. Right? What does this mean? I mean, America even says this today, but America is a liar. Right? Like, what do America say about the law? Think about what they say about the law and then police officers. They say. What do they say about the people who are supposed to enforce? What do they say about the president? What do they say about the president? They say about people who are rich. What do they say as it pertains to the law for them? Opposite.
Oh, yeah, under the
No.
law.
Huh? They say that nobody is above the law. Nobody. Ain't that what they say? Yeah, nobody's above the law. Even above the law. Now they're liars. They're lying. You understand? The president can molest every child he wants and get away with it because he is above this law, because he's above the people who made it. You understand? And he's the ruler of the nation of people who made America's law. So now, what is this saying? That until the earth and the heavens pass, not one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law. Meaning what? With that context. Meaning it don't matter if you're rich. It don't matter how many sacrifices you make. It don't matter if you a king. It don't matter if you poor. It don't matter if you was just, your husband's treating you bad. So you just had to go and just someone else. He was beating on you. He was yelling at you and calling you a bitch. So now you can go, it don't matter what it is. Shall in no wise mean no way. There is no avenue you could take to read that last part.
No wise. Till all be fulfilled.
To what?
Till all be fulfilled.
Before that.
Oh.
Shall pass from the law.
Shall pass from the law.
That's it. And in no wise, you understand? No way shall anyone pass from the law. Meaning no matter what your Christian pastor teach you, the law is here. You understand? And we under it. There's a law that we have to follow. Now, keep reading.
Verse 19. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments.
Now, he giving you an example. Right? He talking to the people. Whosoever shall break one of these least commandments, what's that mean? Break it down. Come on.
The least commandment would be like eat pork.
Yeah. Right? Because of course the Christian church, they think, man, that ain't now at least he ain't murder anybody. You understand? At least I ain't, rape anybody. So they think that eating pork is the least commandment. Come on.
So, wouldn't it be counted as murder?
What eating?
Yeah.
It wouldn't be considered murder. Like the Bible say that there is no law greater than the other. But the spirit behind that is that if you will eat pork, then you'll rape a little girl out. You understand? So the spirit behind it, but now the judgment is what separates the two. So you may not die for eating pork, right? You may be exiled from the nation of Israel. We may not deal with you no more. You become a stranger. You understand? You may not die from certain things. Now I don't know the exact judgment or punishment for eating pork. It may well be you die. It may well be. I don't know. I would have to ask what the judgment of eating pork was in the Old Testament, but you understand. But the spirit behind Christ saying, the Lord saying that there's no law greater than the other, is to get you to understand what you would want your children to understand, which is what you'll tell your children, make sure they make up their bed. Yeah, make sure they keep a clean room. Make sure they home before the street light come on. Make sure they do, all kinds of tedious little things. Why? The tedious little things that your children do at home, that's if your child don't make up his bed, that's not you ain't breaking the law. Not hurting nobody. Like, maybe he's just like a messy room. Some people like that. You're not doing anything to hurt anyone, but you know that if he doesn't have enough discipline, if she doesn't have enough discipline to follow that small thing, that small order that you give her or him, then you can't trust that they'll have discipline to not smoke weed with their friends down the block. You can't trust it. But imagine you got a daughter or a son who every time they leave in the morning for school, their room is spotless. They're spotless. You don't see nothing. Every day before the street light come on, they are home doing their work. Every time they come into the kitchen, they washing the dishes, having the table set, everything just on point, and they don't ever waver. Well, then you feel a little bit better about that child going to college. You feel better. I could that you could follow these little things. I know that them big things, you'll be able to fight against that. But when we can't do little things like not put pork in your mouth, goddamn not. You understand? There's brothers and sisters in the Bible who got tormented for not eating pork. And you can't fight against that. Come on.
It's kind of like, I don't know if you heard this before, but it's like my mom used to always say, if you'll lie about something small, then how I know that you won't lie about something major? If you just doing something simple as lying about something small, it's the same concept.
How can you know? How can you know? You understand? There ain't no way. You'll lie about who ate the last cupcake in the refrigerator. Damn sure gonna lie about who took money out the purse. You understand? So I can't trust you. Can't trust you. Right? Who read that again, Salaki?
Come, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 19.
Mm-hmm.
Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments
and
shall teach men so.
And teach men so. What does that mean?
So I get on basically like I'll be on the subject. The Christian pastor is like your Christian pastor is not gonna tell you to stop eating pork because he's not caring about the biblical presence or the gout or blood pressure that you may gather from it. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna do what Christ did. So it's like truth.
Yeah, he definitely ain't thinking about that, but more so he not thinking about the Lord.
God.
You understand? Like he not thinking, like imagine a law that's here that you have to follow to get eternal life. Imagine that, and the pastor telling you not to follow it. Now imagine the Lord telling you, yo, if you don't eat pork for the rest of your life, then you're gonna live forever. And then the pastor telling you, man, just go ahead and eat some pork. Telling your children, man, just go ahead and eat pork. Imagine how much hate you would have for that pastor, how much distaste you would have for him. But that's how the Lord feel about him. You understand? Because he don't give a damn about pushing what the Lord wanted us to have, which is these laws. He want to push what he want to push. You understand? He pushed what make his congregation good so that he can continue to get money. You understand? Filthy lucre sake, as the Bible calls it. You understand? Keep reading.
So he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven.
So he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. Hold your point, right? Because a Christian pastor is like one of the most disgusting men. How many of y'all ever known a drug addict before or was close to one? You understand? Generally speaking, drug addicts know they have a problem. And they generally give the advice to do what when it comes to drugs? Don't do it. Don't do this here. You better than me. Don't do this. Go to school. You know, get out of these streets, man, because this ain't nothing. Why they scratching their neck? Like, do you imagine how much morality a crackhead has while he's on crack? He has more morality than your Christian pastor. He has more care for a person, for another brother or child while he's on crack. He's high out of. He's not even the same. He's not even himself. He a whole different junkie right now. He scratching and fiending and I got these cheeseburgers, and he a little kid, and he go up to the little kid and he don't do this. Don't do this. Go on somewhere else. Give me some money, but don't do this. You know. You understand? Like, he has more morality than your Christian pastor, man. That's why the Lord said that he got to be least in the kingdom of heaven, because he teach men to break the law, statutes, and commandments. You understand? Keep reading.
He shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But however, the same called great in heaven.
Whoever shall do and teach, the same shall be called great in heaven. I mean, that's self-explanatory, not explanatory. You understand? Keep on.
Verse 20. For I say unto you that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees.
Now break that down. Young man.
No, scribes and Pharisees,
Give me a little bit more. Right here in these classes, y'all gonna learn as of any other. Y'all is gonna be a little bit more hands-on. Y'all gonna break these scriptures down like you got Kim. So this is what we're doing, in case you haven't realized. Go through each precept, y'all gonna break it down until you got it. So read it one more time.
For I say unto that righteousness shall see the righteous.
Hold on. Now, what does it mean to aid?
Like to surpass.
To surpass, right? Keep going.
Exceed the righteous scribes and Pharisees.
Now, who? Scribes and Pharisees.
Were how you say, they were the people that were that opposed Christ. They were against him.
Yeah, they were. Well,
what? The what?
Come on.
They were the opposite. They were against.
Give a little bit more direct.
They were against a lot of things that Christ taught. Still don't like it. But, well, they were against what Christ taught.
All right, but who was
the Pharisees and the scribes?
Right. I don't know if I don't know who the Sadducees and the Pharisees and the scribes are. Break it down to me like I'm a boy. I mean, hey, I don't know what that means. Come on. Yeah, that's their title, but like break it down so I can see it today. Who are they today?
Those would be like government.
Yes. Yes. You understand? When the government ran by the church and the government, they were police officers, they were your judges, they were your politicians, they were your secretaries, they were your congressmen, they were the men who sat in the high seats of power. Whatever happened with the land, they were the ones who determined what happened. if they were going to have an embargo on another land or another nation, it was high priests or scribes or Pharisees who made that happen, who said, we're not trading with them because they are against God. You understand? Or we are going to trade with these people because they follow God. They would be the ones to determine it, and the church was the one who, decisions. So they were leaders today. The only that the religious leaders have influence on how it was run. Today, you have senators and congressmen who sit in the seat of running the nation. They are ran spirit of Christianity. So it's not as direct as TD the decision for America. But what TD Jakes teach, what his spirit is what America is, which is that black are on the bottom of simple. You understand? That's what Christianity is white supremacy. That's all it is. So now, not too much off topic, because like I said, I want y'all to break this down. Read it one more time.
Come.
Mm-hmm.
For I say unto you,
Mm-hmm.
that except your righteousness
Mm-hmm.
shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes.
And then also, whenever y'all read, I want y'all to say the chapter and the verse, the book, chapter, and the verse. And then I want you to ask if all Akim has it. You understand? Matthew chapter 5, verse 15. Got it? Con. Then roll. You understand? You want to let the brothers have a chance. When we in a scenario like this, y'all close to each other, so y'all can make sure y'all, brother may be in the back of the class and he, trying Zephaniah, he can't find it. And he never read it. You understand? So you want to say, oh, I got it. It's lie. I can't find it. Where's that? Help him out. Let him get it so that he can read it too. Also, using a man got your Bible, you got your sword. Okay, it's good. You understand? Use your sword because that's what helped that camp. Y'all ain't seen y'all in the camp when you got General Mahatman up there or something. He got two readers and he go get me this, get me that, just give me that, and you do not want that up. So you got to be able to know Revelation. Go to the back. Go to the middle for go. You got to know these things. So that was a sidebar. But come on, read it one more time. Mm-hmm.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, and verse 20.
Mm-hmm.
For I say unto you,
Mm-hmm.
that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees.
Break it down. What does it mean? That except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and the Pharisees. What is righteousness?
Like keeping the law, statutes, and commandments.
Your ability to follow this law. That's the only thing that can make you righteous. The Christian church, I'm coming to you. The Christian church teaches you that righteousness is what? Oh, you open the door for that old lady. Oh, that's such a righteous man. You understand? Or I don't listen to none of that hip hop music. Oh, you're just such a righteous young man. That's not righteous. Righteous is simple. It is right according to God.
That's right.
That is righteousness. If it is correct according to God, meaning holding that door for that lady has nothing to do with the Lord. The Lord don't give a damn about you holding that door. But not molesting her is right according to God. Right. Not murdering her or stealing her purse is right according to God. What is holding the door for the lady? Mm-hmm. It's kindness. It's kind. It's the kind thing to do. You understand? But it's not. You're not breaking no law because you let the door slam in some old woman's face. Is that you an asshole for sure? You definitely an asshole, and people probably gonna look at you in a bad way. But you ain't sinning by letting the door slip and it busts on her pinky toe. That ain't That ain't that. Understand? Juan, what you had?
So, I was gonna say is like basically that verse says that God's law exceeds the law of man.
Yeah, of course. You understand? That's what we was talking about with America's law and why America's law is not perfect, but the Lord's is.
Okay.
You understand? But I want somebody to down who, you know, that righteousness, we just found out what righteousness is. Your ability to follow the law shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees. What is that saying? I kind of said it for you. Come on, QP.
Well, following the law means, we just said, like, following the law, but also, like we just said, exceeding means to surpass.
All right, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to read it for you. I'm going to read it. We at camp, right? I'm going to read it. You're going to break it down. It's Matthew chapter 5 and verse 20. For I say unto you that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees. Jump into it. You got to break it down. You'll get it. Anybody else want to take a shot?
So which means that.
Hold on. So Matthew 5 and verse 20. For I say unto you that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees.
So that means that you follow statutes, commandments, shall exceed the law of man.
Zoning for the first part, right? For time's sake, your righteousness has to be better than your Christian pastor.
That's right.
You have to be better than TD Jakes. You have to be better than Creflo Dollar. You have to be better than them filthy politicians and your disgusting congressmen and your Democrats and your diplomats. You have to be better than religious leaders of this world, because Christ just said that your except you exceed the righteousness of the scribes and the Pharisees. And then you have to be better than them. Keep reading.
Ye shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven.
Ye shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven. Break that down. What does that mean? Christ is giving you an ultimatum. Come on, young man.
You can either follow the laws of God or follow the laws of man and not make the kingdom.
Try to stick away from the laws of man, right? Because even the Sadducees and Pharisees thought that they was following God's law. You understand? They taught to follow God's law. They taught what the prophets taught. But the problem with the Sadducees and Pharisees is that they didn't follow it. They told you to not be a child molester while they molested your children. They told you not to steal money while they stole your money. That's what they did, which is why Christ had to come and teach us and show us how to follow this law. Because for years, for thousands of years, we're looking at a people who are wicked teaching us to follow the law. But we couldn't do anything about it. Why? Because they're the politician. They're the policemen. They're the people who make the world go round. So what can you do about it? Nothing. What can you do about policemen shooting you in the back? Nothing. So what would you need for you to see what a policeman should be like? You would need a man like Christ to come and show you what a policeman should be like.
Right.
That's what you would need. Now, Christ don't give a damn about policemen, but that's the idea. We need to know what religious or what righteous leaders look like. So we had to have Christ come and show us what it was, because they weren't doing it. And now Christ came and showed us, and now he's telling you what? That if you want to enter into the kingdom of heaven, you have to follow this law. Now, how do we teach in the Christian church that the law is done away with? This is very strenuous and very specific on this topic that Christ is trying to push, that the law is not to be dismissed. Come on.
Said how would the Christian church say that the laws are done away with?
Mm-hmm.
They feel like since Christ came to fulfill the law, show you how to do it. he did the law, and then no one else had to continue to do so.
Well, that's nonsense, you understand? Because what would be the point of him doing it then? Come on.
I'll say like churches, like they say that you can like celebrate holidays, things of that sort.
Mm-hmm.
Like they pretty much make it acceptable. Like you can still be a Christian and celebrate Christmas,
Yeah.
celebrate Thanksgiving, eat pork.
You're right. They absolutely they do that. Absolutely. Come on.
It's like what you saying. So that because like Christians really don't read the Bible. You know, so they, like if you look at all the precepts, 31,102 verses in the Bible, they don't read them. It's like how we learn every single day how to apply the law. It's like they see it and then they say, oh, it's a different meaning, but it's like, bro, it's English. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's written in parables, which is you basically slang. And it's like we speak slang every single day,
Mm-hmm.
but they can't break it down because they're not in Hebrew.
Right.
So,
That's the point you want to put. The point they may read the Bible, but they don't have the understanding. That spirit of Christ is trying to give us. Like these records and what Christ did is to save Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians.
right.
So if your agenda is not to save those people, then you will not have the understanding of what's in these records. You won't get it. You understand? If you have the idea that all animals are really human beings reincarnated, and that's your whole push for life, is to save all animals for being murdered, then if you read these records, it won't make sense to you because you're pushing for an agenda that has nothing to do with the Bible. You understand? Christ didn't give a damn about animals being, chicken and barbecued and fried. He don't care about that. You understand? So you have to know the agenda or the context of why this is being written. You have to know the history as to why this is being written. You understand? And what was going on to the people that about. You understand? For you to know why Ezra wrote what he wrote, you have to know what happened during the Jacobite Revolution. You understand? What's that coin? I forget the name of that coin. I almost want to put on a TV screen. Hold on one second. Nah, I'll say that for another time. You understand? But you have to know the history to understand what was going on for you to understand what's being written and why it's being written. Come on.
Like I can say too, like we learned in Ecclesiastes 1:1 in the prologue talks about in order to understand the words of the Bible, you got to understand the Hebrew as well. And so it goes hand in hand.
Yeah, you understand? For those other than Hebrew, it's more powerful.
Okay.
You understand? But all of that understanding you get from finding the truth, which is in the Isupk under
That's
Commander
right.
General Yohana. You understand? That's the only way you're gonna find is the understanding of these records. Like we look at how we get through these little 3-4 verses we reading. Imagine how many Christians in the world have never read this. You understand? They don't go 4 verses down. They don't understand the context. And we doing it tonight so that you because I know usually we'll stop at verse 17, but we going down to show you that Christ elaborated exactly what he meant. You understand? He didn't just say that, follow the law. He told you, nigga, if you don't follow the law, you ain't gonna be shit in the kingdom of heaven. He elaborates exactly what he means so that it's very much clear. And now, keep reading.
Verse 21.
Oh, wait. Did anyone answer, ye shall in no case enter to the kingdom of heaven?
Lies.
Somebody break it down. Come on.
Like the other one,
Uh-huh.
basically meaning that if you didn't follow these laws, like he said, I never knew you.
Break it down break it down according to what is being said. You was right that you don't these laws. What else? There's 3 parts to this. The first part of you don't follow these laws. There's 2 more parts to this.
You don't follow these laws, statutes, and commandments. Then you will enter into the kingdom of heaven.
That's the first and the last part. What's the second part? If you don't follow these laws better than the scribes and Pharisees, if you're not better than them, then you won't make it.
That's right.
You understand? Now that sets the tone. That sets the standard. You got to figure out, well, what the hell was they doing? You understand? It is low. It's low, but in our minds, it's very high because of the seat that they have. Because think about what we never believed we could do. But before coming to the truth, you looked at Christian pastors like they was holy. Even if you weren't a Christian, you looked at them like these, they the greatest men on earth. Like these, the men who got the power. You look at the Pope, like, you know how many people stop when the Pope comes to the city and they don't even believe in Catholicism. They don't even like the Pope. Just imagine that. They know that the Catholic Church is responsible for thousands and thousands of child molestations every year. They don't like the Pope. But when the Pope comes to the city, they stop and take pictures. You know why? Because in their mind, that seat, they're so blinded by the seat that they're sitting in. They're blinded by the Rolls Royce, the jet that they fly in, the money that they have, that they're not looking at the content of that person. They're not concerned with what he does. But now you're going to have to be concerned with what he does. You're going to have to be better than his seat. You brothers in here, so you young men, as a younger who never went to theology, who don't, how many of y'all drive this? How many of y'all make 6 figures a year? Nobody? So the city don't, when you walk into, no red lights, huh? Nothing. With everything that you don't have, better than the Pope. With everything you don't have, you have to be better than TDJ. $1. And you will be. You understand? You'll be a trooper in the school and you'll be more valuable to Christ than Creflo Dollar. Now imagine that. Imagine that. This brother just in all black with black boots and a black hoodie on, he is more valuable to Yahweh Shai Mashiach than all of the Christian pastors combined. Just you one brother. And that is the standard. You understand? And it's not because you have on all black, but it's because you are not a hypocrite. It's because you do not celebrate Christmas. You do not smoke weed. You do not eat shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster. Don't pray 5 times a day to a rock. And that is what makes you better than those Christian pastors. And that will get you into the kingdom of heaven, young man.
T.D. Jakes passed his cemetery
To his daughter.
To his daughter.
Yeah, man. Yeah. You brothers would never do that. So you're better than him. You understand? Because you know that a woman can't lead a congregation of men. You understand? Keep reading.
Verse 21.
Akim got it.
Akim.
Read it. Chapter.
No, sorry. Salaki.
Come on, you got it.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, and verse 21. Akim, do you have it?
Okay. There you go.
All right. Yea, ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, thou shalt not kill.
We'll break this down. Come on.
It's just like it was said in the olden days that it was not right to kill. So,
QP.
It was like basically what it's saying is by them of old time would be like the prophets,
Which is what?
Of the Old Testament.
There you go. Right, the Old Testament, right?
Thou shalt not kill was said by them in the Old Testament.
The Old Testament. You have heard that it was said, "Thou shalt not kill." Right? That's the big law. It's the big commandment, right? Keep reading.
And whosoever shall kill shall be in danger of the judgment.
And whosoever shall, we'll break it down. I ain't gonna give it to you. Come on.
So basically, what it's saying is, if you kill, like in the New Testament, which we're at now, like if you do the same thing now, like it pretty much still stands. Like if you do the same thing now, you'll be judged for it. You'll be held accountable. And you'll be held accountable if you go against that law, in particular, killing.
Now that is true, but that is not what's being said here. For one.
So like if you kill, be ready for that judgment.
That is true, but that's not what's being said here. Focus on what's being said, young man.
Being that the old prophet said, thou shalt not kill.
Mm-hmm.
You may not be judged for it now, but sooner or later the Lord will catch up.
Read it one more time from the.
And know that law still stands.
I mean, it is. That's true. But that's not what's being said. That's not what Christ is teaching us. Come on. Read it one more time.
This is the book of Matthew chapter 5, verse 21.
Mm-hmm.
Ye have heard
Mm-hmm.
that it was said by them of old time,
Mm-hmm.
thou shalt not kill.
Now Christ is saying what? Ye have heard this. His point is telling you something that you've heard before. You all have heard that thou shalt not kill, right? You all have heard that thou shalt not commit adultery, right? Yeah, we've all heard those things because ain't that what the Christian church teach? That's the law that they keep, right? T.D. Jakes tell you, thou shalt not be a murderer, commit adultery. The pastor teach you. We've all heard that. We've all heard that one, right? We got that. Got that down packed. Everybody in here know not to be a murderer. You ain't have to come into the, raise your hand if you had to come into the Israelite school of UPK to learn that the Bible said to not be a murderer. Nobody. You've heard it your whole life. Murdering is wrong. And this is what Christ is saying. That's the point. He's saying, you've heard this. Now keep reading.
Thou shalt not kill.
Mm-hmm.
Whosoever shall kill shall be in danger of the judgment.
We've all heard that before. Keep reading.
Verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
But I say unto you.
But, meaning it's a contrary. Meaning y'all have all heard that if you kill and be a murderer, you're going to face the judgment. On the contrary, though. That's what Christ is saying. On the contrary, keep reading.
That whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment.
Now, how many of y'all have ever heard that before the truth? How many of y'all have ever heard a Christian pastor say that if you brother without a cause, you are going to face the same judgment that you will face if thou shalt not murder? None of us. Never heard that. You know why? Because Christ's righteousness superseded the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees. He didn't just teach you to not murder. He taught you to not have an ought with your brother without a cause. You couldn't be angry with him. Now, what does that stop? That stops black on black crime. It stops me hating you because you're from a certain neighborhood. You understand? You were just talking to me the other day, telling me about how you got social cliques in middle school that once they get to high school, they pick which one they really want to get into. And then depending on which one you pick, that determines who you hates you. That determines who you fight you. That determines who you stab you, who you shoot, and who shoots you. Just based off a click. Like how you play 2K and you get to pick one of the three. That's just simple as that. Oh, I picked to be over here. Oh, I picked to be over here. But that means we sworn enemies. And imagine if the Christian pastor taught us that, man, if you hate a brother for no reason, which is what I see you wearing red and I wear blue, now I hate you. That ain't no reason. What the hell is that? You from 6th Street, like what King Von, I'm from 65th and yeah, whatever. You understand? No, he said I'm not from 63rd. Yeah. Like you talking about one street in the middle of the street you talking about. The hell does that make sense? Y'all like literally right down the street from each other. Y'all go to the same damn gas station. Y'all use the same damn bank. You go to the same stores, same schools. But because of a number on the street, you hate them. Now you got all of the internet hate 63rd. Oh, you from 63rd, nigga. Like, you lame. What are you talking about? You don't even know nobody you never even been to Chicago before. You know nothing about no 63rd Street. You don't know nothing about nothing up there. You've never been there. You're from Alabama, hating on people from 63rd. That is stupidity. But that is because our Christian pastors teach us to not murder. But they don't also teach us this. Read it one more time.
The book of Matthew chapter 5 and verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
I can got it.
Come on.
But I say unto you
Mm-hmm.
that whosoever is angry with his brother
Mm-hmm.
without a cause
Mm-hmm.
shall be in danger of the judgment.
Mm-hmm.
And whosoever shall say to his brother,
Mm-hmm.
Raka,
Rakah.
Raka,
Mm-hmm.
shall be in danger of the council.
Now, what does that mean? Rakah, you call him a liar without a cause, shall be in danger of the council. Keep going.
But whosoever
Mm-hmm.
shall say, Thou fool,
Mm-hmm.
shall be in danger of hellfire.
Meaning what? You call your brother a fool. All of these things you doing without a cause. You talking bad about him. Saying, man, you a liar, man. You ain't nothing, man. You stupid. You dumb. Without a reason for it. All of these things start what? They start gang wars. All of these things start hatred within the black community. All of these things. But imagine if we knew we couldn't do it. Imagine if I knew I couldn't go to QP and say, that nigga Hawan a damn liar, bro. He a liar. You know why? Because then that starts to cause division. You understand? Imagine if I knew that if I thought Hawan was a liar, I got to go to him. I got to say, hey, I think you lied about this. I think you weren't really doing this. You lied about that. And then he has to state his point. And if we don't agree, we have to do what? Go to council. And the council will decide who's actually lying and who's not. You understand? But we're not being taught that. We being taught thou shalt not commit adultery. We be taught that thou shalt not commit adultery by most adulterous bastards in the world. Riddle me that. You understand? Keep reading.
Verse 23. Therefore, if thou bring thy gift to the altar,
Meaning what? Well, read the whole thing and break it down.
and there rememberest that thy brother hath aught against thee. Verse 24.
Therefore, if thou bring thy gift to the altar, and there remembereth that thy brother hath aught against thee. What is that? What is it talking about? Read verse 24 and then break down. Read verse 23 through 24 and then break it down.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 24.
Mm-hmm.
Leave there thy gift before the altar.
No, read verse 20. Read it from 23 and then break it down. Matter of fact, get Young, I want you to pick it up here. No, you 12.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 23.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, if thou bringest thy gift to the altar,
Mm-hmm.
and there rememberest that thy brother hath an ought against thee,
Mm-hmm.
verse 24, leave there thy gift before the altar and go thy way.
Mm-hmm.
First be reconciled, reconciled.
You had to write the first one. Reconcile.
Mm-hmm. To thy brother,
Mm-hmm.
and then come and offer thy gift.
Now, Christ telling us, come on. What is he? Hawan?
Like similar to they go to he alone. Basically, a similarity in verse.
Maybe. A little bit more than that, though. Remember what we're talking about. We're talking about our righteousness superseding the righteousness of our Christian leaders. So everything Christ is telling us is what Christian leaders don't do. Don't. Anybody else want to take a shot? Come on. No one else want to take a shot. I break it down. Think about it. If you do it again, any one of you can read it. Read it and see what's being said on the words.
I would say, how was saying that what's this verse 20, how your righteousness exceeds the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees.
Mm-hmm.
How you can't go to the Lord and plead your case without pleading your case with your brother.
That's it.
It's like a,
Come on.
it's like the verse of how can you hit about like your brother who you can see, you love say you love the Lord who you can't see.
That's a precept.
That's what I was.
That's it. You understand? Before you think to go to the Lord, because why are you bringing a gift before the altar? Why are you doing it? You said what? Oh, okay, yeah, no sweat. Why are you bringing a gift before the altar? You're gonna have to smash that. Yeah, you ain't gonna be able to kill catch that. Just don't hit it too hard, and the sword's gonna fall. Most High Christ, Exterminator Hawan. Is that what y'all was looking at this whole time? Oh yeah, that's a wasp right there. Know how the hell a wasp? We got no. No, it need to be. Well, come on, focus on the topic. Now y'all just asking, but why get being in the first place?
Is this like a sacrifice?
Or it could just be a gift. This says a gift, so it's a gift. Come on.
Or the atonement be the same thing?
Could be. Those things that you name it is go pick one. It does anything. If you're going for the Lord, or if you sacrificing for the Lord, or if you bringing a gift for the Lord, all to do what? What is doing this? Why bring anything to it? Come on.
Is it like to over like wrongdoing?
Wouldn't that be that, but
To pretty much shit like what you doing.
shield it, but
Cover.
not to correct your wrongdoings by doing it, but give to the Lord because what? Now you don't want reward. That would be NC. You bringing a gift to the Lord because you want what from the Lord? Uh-huh. Forgiveness. You want to forgive you for what you, but you ain't forgive the brother for what he's done. You understand? Hold on one second. Let me get this live back up on the Instagram. You understand? You going to the Lord to get, read it one more time. Uh-huh.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 23.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, if thou bring thy gift to the altar,
Mm-hmm.
and there rememberest that thy brother have aught against thee.
Now, you bringing a gift to the altars for forgiveness of the Lord, and you remember that you got aught with your brother. You understand it ain't been handled. Keep reading.
Verse 24.
Uh-huh.
Leave there thy gift before the altar.
Meaning leave the gift. Go ahead. Keep reading.
And go thy way.
And go. You understand? Go find that brother. Keep going.
First be reconciled to thy brother.
Uh-huh.
And then come offer the gift.
Yeah. Go deal with your brother first. Go deal with him first, because that's how you get forgiveness from the Lord. By forgiving your brother. You making it, like, the point of all of this is that you make it into the kingdom of heaven by having brotherhood. You understand? by learning how to love your brother and to learning how to understand love yours and to be better than men who did not love us. Give me Matthew 22 and 35.
Got it.
We started verse what did I say? 22 and what?
35.
Started verse 33.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 22, verse 33.
Mhm.
Concept.
And when the multitude heard this,
Mm-hmm.
they were astonished at his doctrine.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 34.
Mm-hmm.
But when the Pharisees had heard that he had put the Sadducees
Mm-hmm.
to silence,
Mm-hmm.
they were gathered.
Now with Christ, like if you read verse 32, Christ was saying that I am the God of Abraham and the God of Isaac and the God of Jacob. God is not the God of the dead, but of the living. You understand? He was breaking down to them that he was on par with them. You understand? And he was teaching to follow the law, statutes, and commandments. And that was the doctrine. That's what we are. You understand? We are one with our Father. I'm one with you. You understand? We go out into the world. The reason why, like if I'm the highest ranking man, there wouldn't be no reason for you to speak if we're in a battle at the club. Why? Because what the hell are you gonna say different than me?
Right.
If I'm with Captain Tazaria and they ask him how does he feel about the law being done away with, the answer he give is my answer. What difference? What other answer am I gonna give? There ain't no point in me speaking. You understand? Because we're on the same page. We understand. We follow the same thing. We live the same way. We eat the same things. We marry the same type of women. We follow the same high holy days. Done. You understand? We are one, and Christ was one with the Lord. Now, read that again, verse 34.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 34.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't have it.
Con.
But when the Pharisees had heard that he had put the Sadducees to silence, they gathered together.
Mm-hmm.
Them, lawyer,
You see? The Sadducees, right? He cut them. Man, he put them. Understand? So, but the Pharisees came and they asked him a question, and one was a what?
lawyer,
They were politicians. They were your lawyers. And ain't that what I said earlier? All right, keep going.
asked the question,
Mm-hmm.
tempting him,
Mm-hmm.
and saying,
Mm-hmm.
Master, which is the great commandment.
Now, they master, but they confound him. They want him to be a liar. With the great commandment of the law. You understand? What's the right? You know why? Because the Sadducees and the Pharisees, that's one. They had a heart truly and dearly to their heart, just like your Christian pastor today. You know, your Christian pastor will not murder, but he will lie to you. He will steal from you. He will steal from you. He will do that.
Jesus said,
Mm-hmm.
thou shalt love the Lord thy God, heart,
Uh-huh.
thy soul,
Uh-huh.
thy mind.
What does that mean? Get that? Mm-hmm.
God always.
How? By doing what the Lord said to do. You understand? Or?
Verse 30,
Mm-hmm.
first and great commandment. Verse 39. The second is life.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt love thy neighbor.
Break it down. Mm-hmm.
Love your brother. You black man.
How do you do it? This is why it's the same thing. It's like unto the first. It's all about following the law, statutes, and commandments.
That's right.
Keep going. Mm-hmm.
On these two commandments.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the
Then what?
These are major commandments that understand of the law.
Give me an example. And a little bit more. Like remember, like when Christ is this punishment, this was that's right. Kwam Yasha. Kwam Yasha. This was they said that. This killed because they don't understand it, but we do because we have been blessed with understanding. And to make other people honest. When he says 2 commandments hang all law and the prophets, what does that mean? What is not dismissing by saying that? Come on.
That the law.
Yeah, he's not dismissing the prophet. He's not dismissing that. You understand? He's not dismissing it. But his whole law hang these two. How can I hang on these two?
Would that be like a representative of like the older New Testament?
Law.
Oh,
All right. But come on, young man.
When our neighbor, how would you know without and but so if you kill your sister, well,
You right? You on it? Maybe just a little bit more. Down your the whole law on these two. The Sadducees and Pharisees, the whole time battling it's like this. Christ. Happened if a woman had 7 husbands, they all died, and she came back in the reincarnation. Okay, Christ, what would happen if your Sabbath day is down at the no. Christ, what would happen this, that, third if a woman was adultery, yada yada yada? Damn, he called us through everything. Made it very simple. All of these have everything you're trying to count me on. All these hang on these two. Simple. If you thy brother has self, you will not murder him. You will not sell drugs. You will not worship idols. Understand why? Because you love him. And you don't want to vex him with jealousy. You won't celebrate Christmas. You won't celebrate Thanksgiving. You won't erect the golden calf to Baal, the God of the heart. You won't do it because you love the Lord. And what else won't you? You won't be astonished by the astrology. You damn about the moon in red. You don't care about those things. You won't worship the sins and worship the sun. You won't worship a white Jesus because you love the Lord. You won't sleep with another brother because you brother. So if I love thyself, do I need to find the scripture where it says commitment? No. Now it's in there, and I'm not dismissing what the prophet said. It's very simple for you. If you love thy brother as thyself, then you don't need to read. You understand? Not commit adultery. Love your children. Do you read in the law they need to be in the car seat at 1 month? Yeah. Does anyone tell you that? Why? It's common sense. Not for everybody. Some people don't do it.
Because of the job.
Give me what I want. Because what of your child?
The safety.
Mm-mm.
Love.
There you go.
So
Because you love your child. So you don't have to read the law of the seatbelt for a 12-year-old. You tell that 12-year-old, put on the seatbelt. Why? Not because you're afraid of going to jail. You ain't afraid of getting a fine. That's not why you saying it. You saying it because you don't want your child to fly through the windshield and die. So if you love your child as thyself, does it really need to be a law of a seatbelt? No, it doesn't. Because you make sure he put that seatbelt on. You understand? If you love children as thyself, does it really have to be a law that says slow your ass down in the school zone? No, because you understand it here. And you don't get hit by a vehicle and die. It has to tell you to. You would do it yourself for those kids. That's all Christ is telling us, man. The law is not wait with. We loved each other, and you understand, like how y'all brothers do. I don't be in the barracks and go. I don't have to tell you to not steal them each other. Sit you down and say, all right, now here's the rules. Don't steal from each other. Don't use each other's brush on the toilet. Don't take the sheets and put your bed because your sheets is dirty. I don't have to tell you because you love each other enough to just sleep sheets on because you messed up. Not saying y'all pissing on your sheets. Get the point. Get the point. And you enough pile up dishes another brother to knock the pots and pans. Love each other enough to let the child up so that another to come in and take the trash. Love each other enough to not leave the room smelling and bathroom disgusting so that another has to, deal with it. You love each other. You say, you know what? Even though I would probably have to, I have to clean up because I want my brother to be able to enjoy the same way I would want somebody to treat me. I would want somebody to do things like me. If I would hope that my son's friends and his would think about like that. So you don't have to have rules like that. You have to love thy brother as yourself. That's it. You understand? The law is none with. And this is we on one or two scriptures. And there's a lot more. But we running out of time. So 54th annual Passover. Clap it up. And Raleigh, North Carolina, April 1st at the Raleigh Convention Center is going down. It's a whole week. At Wednesday, we slaughter in Clayton. I'm going to give me a cow. It's going to happen. Steak, cow knuckles, the hell to get. We gonna get it. Out with it, whatever. That's Wednesday. Black Party is going down. Polls coming out. All of Raleigh, all of Green, Burlington, Chapel Hill, these cities gonna be at the Durham Armory that Thursday before April 1st. I think that's like March 30th. You understand? And Friday, we got General Muhammad scripture break class. It's going down. Sheraton, all that stuff will come out. General Muhammad building. It's going to be a heavy class. The brotherhood going to be heavy after the class is over. Don't want to miss that. Maybe your arrangements, getting them hotel. And I'm going to tell y'all, you better, man, because J. Cole is having a festival the same exact weekend. We expect a flux of 80,000 people to the city. These hotels are about to be expensive. They're going to get flooded. Everything going to be expensive. That's what I'm saying. Black Party going to be crazy. You understand? So make sure y'all get y'all arrangements. Of course, The 54th matchup was going down that Saturday, April 1st. I ain't got that. And it's still how it can be. Understand? So come rock out with the brothers, come rock out with and the rest of the Israel School of UPK, generals, the captains, officers, troopers, sisters, who need to come into the truth. Even you fake Israelites, stop being so hard-headed. Pay your tithes, pay your silver fee, stand, and we'll see you there with that. I pass over the troop one. You understand? I'll read the security announcement, and we're gonna get back there.
Security announcement. ISUPK out of 1 West, 125th, Harlem, New York, under commanding General new brothers and sisters. New brother or sister comes to school. They're off limits for 6 months. They are diluted only to share themselves to the world. Brother or sister has an interest in a particular person. He or she, from the head to a brother or sister. There's another in which the brother or sister will court each other. In a 6-month period, brother or sister will give permission from the ties, which is you can find this in Numbers 18 and 23, 10 means 10 in Hebrew. My Isupk. Of every penny increase, the Lord give to the Treasury Department or priest fund. Free will always not word. Whatsoever you give. Upcoming convocations, March 5th to 6th, which is the Feast of Purim. Remind check on such as isupk.com, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in school, then he is to start wearing all black, which includes shirts, pants, head, scarf. And with that, which means
we're gonna do the Lord's prayers, right? In Hebrew, Yahweh, which means face the east. Shema, we usually read it in Hebrew, but I'm a. You sure? Sweet, come on.
Abanawa, Shemaiah,
Shabbat,
Kodash, Ayah,
Shemka,
Malavika,
Malaka,
Taba'a, Ratzaka, Ayah, Aisha, Maratza, Kawa, Ayah, Mashemaiah, Nathan,
the thunder now, the cow. Repeat after him. Go ahead. Cow.
You want. Wasla,
Kabawati now. Wasalaki now. Kabawati. Wala. Dabia.
Vanessa one.
A ball.
Hawaii.
Shire now.
Ayan.
My young.
Kaya.
Laka.
Kawaf.
Hamalakwa. Allah.
The right. Bar.
La
Aman.
In English. Our Father, which art in heaven, be thy name. Thy will be done.
In earth.
In heaven.
Is in heaven. Give us this day.
Our daily bread. Forget. Speak for you. And lead us not to temptation.
From evil.
For thine is the kingdom. Power.
And the power.
Glory.
And the glory.
Forever. So
Sorry. Turn. We give one courtesy salute to two men of Israel, Major Shabbat, Major Barak.
how about Shimi Habashabra?
Class is missed.